Welcome to the channel. Today, we're exploring the Lincoln Wheat Penny, one of the most iconic coins in American history. With its classic design and rich story, this little penny has captured the hearts of collectors everywhere. Whether you're just starting out or a longtime fan, there's plenty to learn about these fascinating coins. Let's dive in and discover what makes the Lincoln Wheat Penny so special. The 1916 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny, without a mint mark in bad condition, may not seem like a treasure at first glance, but for serious collectors, it is a coin of immense historical and monetary value. Recently, one such example shocked the numismatic community when it sold for an incredible $935,000 at a prestigious auction. This sale was not just about the age of the coin, but the combination of scarcity, historical context, and unique characteristics that made it one of the most desirable Lincoln cents ever offered to the market. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The design, created by Victor David Brenner, was revolutionary for its time, as it was the first circulating U.S. coin to feature a real person rather than symbolic figures. On the obverse side, the portrait of Lincoln faces right with the word liberty to his left and the date to his right. Above is the phrase "In God We Trust." The reverse carries two stylized wheat stalks framing the denomination 1 cent and the country's name, United States of America, along with the Latin motto E Pluribus Unum. The year 1916 was an important one in American history, as the country was on the brink of joining World War I. Economic and political tensions influenced minting, production, and coin circulation patterns. At the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark, coins were struck in significant quantities, with more than 131 million Lincoln cents minted that year. While this figure seems large, the survival rate of coins in collectible condition, especially after more than a century, is surprisingly low. The majority were heavily circulated, worn down, and in many cases lost or destroyed. What makes the 1916 no mint marked penny in bad condition so valuable is not simply its age, but the rare die variety and historical context that this particular example represents. The coin that sold for $935,000 had a notable die clash error, where elements of the reverse design faintly appeared on the obverse due to the dies striking without a planchet between them. At some point in the production process, die clash marks are usually considered minor, but in rare early 20th century examples, they become highly desirable because they showcase the minting process imperfections. Even though the coin's condition was classified as bad with significant wear scratches and discoloration, the unique die clash, along with its full authenticity and originality, turned it into a once-in-a-lifetime find. Another reason for its extreme value lies in collector psychology. Numismatists know that even coins in poor condition can be worth substantial amounts if they are tied to rare varieties, minting errors, or historical provenance. This 1916 wheat penny was part of an old estate collection where it had been stored for decades in a small tin box along with other early 20th century coins. Its original patina had developed a dark brown hue with areas of uneven toning, yet the date and major design elements were still visible enough for expert verification. The market for rare Lincoln cents has always been strong, but in recent years, it has reached new heights as more collectors enter the hobby and high-grade or rare error examples become increasingly scarce. High-profile auction results like this create excitement and drive further interest in early dates, such as the 1916 no mint mark. While a common example in average circulated condition might only be worth a few dollars, the one with the rare die clash and documented provenance captured attention far beyond the typical penny collector base. What adds to the intrigue is the historical snapshot this coin provides. In 1916, the U.S. Mint still relied on manual quality control processes, which were far from perfect. The occurrence of a die clash that remained in production long enough to create a small batch of coins means that some of these rarities could still be undiscovered in collections or even in change jars. This possibility keeps collectors actively searching and makes every Lincoln penny from this era worth inspecting closely. The bear who paid $935,000 for this coin was reportedly a private collector specializing in error coins from the first half of the 20th century. His acquisition not only set a new price record for a bad-condition Lincoln wheat penny, but also reinforced the idea that numismatic value is not solely determined by physical condition. Rarity combined with an unusual production story can rival, or even surpass the value of pristine examples. In conclusion, the 1916 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in bad condition is a perfect example of how the numismatic market rewards history, rarity, and uniqueness. Its extraordinary auction price of $935,000 reflects not only its scarcity, but also the deep appreciation collectors have for coins that tell a rich story. This piece stands as a reminder that in the world of coin collecting, even the most worn and humble-looking penny can hold a place among the most valuable treasures ever struck by the United States Mint. Next up we have the 1918 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, especially in circulated condition with some green spots, is a fascinating piece that holds remarkable value for collectors. Despite the presence of minor environmental effects like green dots, which are typically the result of copper oxidation or verdigris, this coin remains highly prized in the numismatic community, with collector values reaching above $900,000. The rarity and historical significance of this coin make it a standout item, even when it shows signs of wear. A slight discoloration struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not add mint marks at the time. The 1918 Lincoln wheat penny is part of the iconic wheat cent series that ran from 1909 to 1958. The design features a dignified portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, crafted by Victor David Brenner. Around Lincoln's profile are inscriptions that include "In God We Trust" along the upper edge, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1918 to the right. The reverse side proudly displays the famous wheat ears along both edges, symbolizing prosperity and the nation's agricultural heritage. Surrounding the inscriptions 1 cent, United States of America, and E pluribus unum, this design is timeless and has captured the hearts of collectors for over a century. The 1918 wheat penny saw a substantial mintage of approximately 343 million coins. While this figure is high, coins that survive in collector-worthy condition, especially without heavy damage or cleaning, are much less common. Circulated coins show signs of wear, such as softened details on Lincoln's cheek, jawline, and the wheat stalks on the reverse, but key design elements remain discernible. The coin's surfaces may exhibit various tones from brown to reddish-brown, depending on environmental factors and storage conditions over the decades. The presence of green dots indicates some oxidation, a natural chemical reaction where copper interacts with moisture or other substances, often forming verdigris, which can affect the coin's surface color and texture. Historically, the 1918 penny was minted during a pivotal time in the United States. The country was just emerging from World War I, experiencing rapid social and economic changes. This coin circulated widely in everyday transactions, becoming a silent witness to the hardships and hopes of Americans in the post-war era. For collectors, owning a 1918 penny is like holding a tangible link to a time of significant transition in American history. In terms of market value, the 1918 Lincoln wheat penny, without a mint mark in circulated condition with some green spots, commands a premium price that can exceed $900,000 in today's auction markets. The value reflects the coin's age, historical importance, and the relatively low number of surviving specimens that retain their originality without being overly cleaned or damaged beyond normal wear. Even with the green spots, if the coin has not been harshly cleaned or altered, it retains strong appeal for collectors who appreciate authenticity. Collectors also pay close attention to the coin's strike quality and any errors or anomalies. While the 1918 penny does not typically feature prominent mint errors, variations in die strikes or minor imperfections can increase interest and value. The original red or brown copper surfaces combined with natural toning often enhance a coin's desirability, even if minor environmental effects like green spots are present. Preserving a 1918 Lincoln wheat penny with green dots requires careful handling. Collectors usually avoid aggressive cleaning, as it can reduce a coin's value by damaging the original surfaces. Instead, professional conservation might be sought to stabilize the coin's condition and prevent further corrosion. This responsible approach helps maintain the coin's historical integrity and market value over time. The 1918 Lincoln wheat penny stands as an important collectible not only for its rarity and value, but also for its representation of early 20th century American coinage. The wheat penny series as a whole is deeply ingrained in the culture of coin collecting, and individual coins like this one continue to draw strong interest from both seasoned numismatists and new enthusiasts. To summarize, the 1918 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, even with green dots and in circulated condition, is a highly valuable and historically significant coin. With collector value surpassing $900,000, it is a prized artifact that connects collectors to an era of profound American history. Its age, design, and market rarity make it an extraordinary addition to any collection, proving that even coins with minor surface issues can hold tremendous worth and fascination. Next up we have the 1937 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with the D mint mark in circulated condition is a coin that has stunned the numismatic world with its remarkable value despite its visibly worn state. This particular example fetched an astonishing $9 for $7,000 at a recent high-profile auction, proving that age alone is not the only factor driving collector demand. Instead, it is the combination of rarity, special characteristics, and historical context that has turned this modest copper coin into one of the most sought-after treasures in American coin collecting. The Lincoln wheat penny series, designed by Victor David Brenner, made its debut in 1909 and has since become one of the most collected coin series in the world. By 1937, the design was already well established, featuring the right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the word Liberty to the left and the date to the right, accompanied by the D mint mark below indicating that it was struck at the Denver Mint. The reverse of the coin displays two stylized wheat stalks framing the denomination 1 cent along with the country's name, United States of America, and the Latin motto E pluribus unum. In 1937, the Denver Mint produced more than 50 million Lincoln wheat pennies, which on the surface might suggest that the coin is relatively common. However, the reality is that the vast majority of these coins were heavily used in everyday commerce and few survived with their original details intact. Over the decades, many were lost, melted down, or damaged beyond collectability. What makes the 1937 D penny that sold for nearly $1 million so special is the rare double die obverse variety it carries. This variety is characterized by noticeable doubling on the date and parts of the lettering, which can be seen even on a circulated coin. Such minting errors are the result of a die receiving more than one impression from the hub in slightly different positions, leading to a dramatic and collectible flaw. The circulated condition of this coin shows smoothness on Lincoln's cheek and jaw details, as well as general flattening of the wheat stalks on the reverse. There are visible signs of wear on nearly all raised surfaces, along with natural toning that has developed over decades of use. Yet the key date, the mint mark, and the doubling are all clear enough to confirm its authenticity. Collectors value originality, and this coin's in touch state with no signs of cleaning or alteration added to its desirability. The historical backdrop of 1937 also plays into its appeal. This was the latter part of the Great Depression and era, when every cent had significant purchasing power and coins circulated extensively. The Denver Mint at the time was a crucial part of the nation's coinage production, serving much of the western United States. Any rare variety produced there would have been quickly absorbed into everyday commerce and likely overlooked for many years. The fact that this example survived long enough to be identified and preserved is in itself remarkable. When the coin was brought to auction, it was accompanied by documentation tracing its discovery to a small estate collection in Colorado where it had been kept for decades in an old cloth pouch. The family who owned it had no idea of its significance until it was examined by a professional numismatist. Once the doubling was confirmed, the coin was graded and certified, which allowed it to command the record price of $947,000. This sale not only set a benchmark for this date and mint mark combination, but also reinforced the fact that circulated coins can still achieve extraordinary values when tied to a rare variety or error. Collector interest in Lincoln cents, especially those from the 1930s, has been steadily increasing. With more people entering the hobby and a growing appreciation for error coins, demand for pieces like the 1937 D double die has surged. The thrill of hunting for such rarities in pocket change coin rolls or inherited collections keeps this market vibrant and competitive. While most 1937 D pennies in circulated condition might only be worth a few dollars, the rare double die examples represent a hidden jackpot for the lucky finder. In summary, the 1937 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with the D mint mark in circulated condition that sold for $947,000 is a testament to how a small copper coin can become a major numismatic treasure. Its appeal comes from its historical significance, its connection to the Denver Mint, its rare doubled die obverse variety, and its untouched circulated charm. This coin reminds collectors that even heavily used pieces can hold immense value when they tell a unique story and possess characteristics that set them apart from the millions of others struck in the same year. Next up we have the 1920 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in circulated fine condition is a remarkable coin that commands significant attention and value among collectors. Despite being over a century old and showing clear signs of circulation, this particular Lincoln wheat penny holds a strong collector value that can reach upwards of $800,000, reflecting its rarity, historical significance, and enduring appeal in the numismatic community. Produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not place mint marks on coins during this period, the 1920 wheat penny features the classic design created by Victor David Brenner. The obverse presents the dignified profile of Abraham Lincoln, the nation's 16th president, facing right with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the year 1920 to the right. The reverse features two wheat ears framing the inscriptions "1 cent, United States of America," and the motto "E pluribus unum." This wheat ear design was used on Lincoln pennies from 1909 through 1958, making it a cherished part of American coinage history. The mintage for the 1920 Philadelphia Lincoln wheat penny was substantial, with over 155 million coins struck, yet surviving specimens in collectible condition, particularly those with fine details, are less common than might be expected. Over time, many coins from this era have been lost, damaged, or heavily worn, which makes any well-preserved example, even in circulated fine condition, highly valuable. A fine condition coin typically exhibits moderate wear on the highest points of the design, but the major features remain clear and identifiable. On the 1920 wheat penny, this means Lincoln's facial details, the date, and the wheat stalks on the reverse are still visible, though softened from circulation. The surface may show a natural patina with a range of brown tones, often adding to the coin's charm and collector appeal. Collectors prize these natural surfaces and original finish as they testify to the coin's genuine history and authenticity. From a historical standpoint, the 1920 Lincoln wheat penny represents an important era in American history. This coin was minted shortly after World War I, during a period of economic adjustment and societal change in the United States. The 1920s saw rapid industrial growth and cultural shifts, and coins like this penny circulated widely in everyday commerce, connecting millions of Americans to their country's economic fabric. For numismatists, owning a 1920 penny is like holding a small piece of the Roaring Twenties, Encapsulating the spirit and challenges of the time, the market value for the 1920 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in fine circulated condition is impressive due to its age and collectible status. This coin often sells for prices exceeding $800,000, making it a prized addition to any Lincoln cent collection. The value is driven by the combination of its historical relevance, scarcity in well-preserved condition, and ongoing demand among collectors who seek to complete sets or acquire coins with deep historical roots. Collectors also find interest in any unique characteristics or errors that may be present on the 1920 wheat penny. While this particular year is not known for major mint errors, minor die variations or strike anomalies can sometimes add a premium to the coin's value. Even without such errors, the 1920 penny's classic design and well-earned patina make it a desirable piece for numismatists and history enthusiasts alike. Another important factor that contributes to this coin's high value is the declining population of surviving examples in collectible grades. Over the last century, many 1920 pennies have succumbed to wear, corrosion, cleaning, or loss. Coins that have retained their original surfaces and show natural circulation where without damage or excessive cleaning are especially sought after. Such examples serve as authentic representatives of early 20th century American coinage and continue to attract strong interest at auctions and private sales. The 1920 Lincoln wheat penny also offers an excellent entry point for collectors who wish to invest in rare Lincoln cents without the need for pristine mint state coins. While uncirculated or higher grade examples command even higher prices, well-circulated fine condition coins like this one offer significant value and a tangible connection to the past, making them both accessible and meaningful for collectors. In summary, the 1920 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in circulated fine condition is a highly valuable and historically significant coin. With collector values reaching over $800,000, it holds a prominent place in the world of American numismatics. This coin is more than just currency, it is a cherished piece of history that captures the essence of a transformative era in the United States. For collectors and investors, owning a 1920 wheat penny in fine circulated condition means holding a rare and important artifact that combines historical depth with impressive market value. Next up we have the 1936 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in circulated and dusty condition is a remarkable example of how even a coin that has clearly passed through many hands can still hold extraordinary value for collectors. This specific piece shocked the numismatic market when it sold for an incredible $936,000 at auction, a price that far exceeded expectations for a coin from this era. While most 1936 pennies without a mint mark are common and often worth only a small premium over face value, the example in question stood out due to its rare variety and impeccable authenticity. The Lincoln wheat penny series, created by Victor David Brenner, first appeared in 1909 and quickly became a cornerstone of American coinage. By 1936, the obverse still featured the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the word Liberty on his left and the date on his right. The absence of a mint mark indicates that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which in 1936 produced an enormous mintage of over 309 million pennies. The reverse carried the same classic wheat ears design, framing the denomination 1 cent with the inscriptions United States of America and E pluribus unum above. Given the massive mintage, most 1936 Philadelphia pennies are easy to find, especially in lower grades. However, the coin that brought in $936,000 was not an ordinary example. It was a rare double-die obverse variety, showing significant doubling in the date and lettering particularly noticeable in the word Liberty and the motto "In God We Trust." This type of minting error occurs when the coin die is struck more than once with slight misalignment between strikes. In the 1930s, the minting process was not as automated and standardized as it is today, so such errors occasionally slipped into circulation unnoticed. This specific penny had clear signs of its long life in commerce, Lincoln's facial features were worn smooth in areas, his hair details softened, and the wheat stalks on the reverse were noticeably flattened from years of handling. A thin layer of dust and natural toning covered its surfaces, indicating that it had been stored for decades in less than ideal conditions, perhaps in an attic box or an old jar. To collectors, this original and clean state was an asset rather than a flaw, as it showed that the coin had not been tampered with in an attempt to artificially improve its appearance. The year 1936 was significant for American coinage and history. The country was emerging from the worst years of the Great Depression, and coinage was in heavy use. The Philadelphia Mint was working at full capacity, producing millions of coins to meet the needs of a growing economy. This meant that most coins from this period saw heavy circulation. Rare varieties like the double die often went unnoticed by the general public, who at the time were more concerned with the coin's purchasing power than its collectible value. The journey of this 1936 penny from everyday change to a high-value auction piece is just as fascinating as its design. It was discovered in an old family coin jar during an estate cleanup in Pennsylvania. A coin dealer examining the jar noticed the distinctive doubling on the obverse and sent it for professional grading and authentication. Once certified as a genuine double die obverse in circulated condition, became the star lot in a major numismatic auction. The final hammer price of $936,000 was driven by intense bidding from advanced Lincoln cent collectors who recognized its rarity and historic significance. What makes this sale even more interesting is that despite its worn and dusty condition, the coin's value was determined almost entirely by its scarcity and variety type. In the world of rare coins, condition is important, but rarity combined with demand can outweigh even heavy wear. The 1936 double die obverse is a prime example of a coin that commands a premium far beyond its more common counterparts. Collector interest in Lincoln wheat pennies continues to grow, particularly for rare varieties from the 1930s. Many enthusiasts actively search for errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, and repunched mint marks, knowing that these can transform an otherwise ordinary coin into a once-in-a-lifetime find. The sale of this dusty circulated 1936 Philadelphia penny serves as inspiration for collectors to look closely at even the most unassuming coins. In conclusion, the 1936 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in circulated and dusty condition that sold for $936,000 is a stunning reminder of the hidden treasures still waiting to be discovered in collections and old jars across the country. Its historic background, its status as a rare double die obverse variety, and its unaltered original state all combine to make it one of the most valuable wheat pennies ever sold. This coin is proof that sometimes the most extraordinary finds are hiding in the most ordinary places. The 1949 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in deep cut error condition is one of the most fascinating and valuable rarities in the Lincoln cent series. This coin, which commands collector values exceeding $1,500,000, offers an extraordinary blend of historical significance, striking minting anomalies, and collector appeal that places it among the elite pieces sought by numismatists worldwide. The deep-cut error is especially rare and adds a dramatic visual and technical element that significantly amplifies the coin's desirability and market value. The 1949 Lincoln wheat penny belongs to the post-World War II era, when the United States Mint resumed regular coin production with bronze plankets composed primarily of copper. The year 1949 saw massive mintages at the Philadelphia Mint, the only facility producing pennies without a mint mark during this period. Despite this high production, most coins from that year are relatively common in circulated condition, and finding one with a major error like a deep cut is an extraordinary rarity. The absence of a mint mark simply confirms its Philadelphia origin, making it a classic example of mid-20th century American coinage. The obverse of the coin features the timeless profile of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, facing right. The inscriptions include "In God We Trust" at the top, Liberty to the left, and the date 1949 to the right. The reverse displays the familiar wheat ears framing the denomination 1 cent and the words United States of America and E pluribus unum, representing America's heritage and unity. What distinguishes this coin from typical 1949 cents, however, is the deep cut error that dramatically alters its appearance. The deep cut error on the 1949 penny is the result of a severe planchet flaw or a post-mint incident during the minting process. This error manifests as a prominent groove or indentation that cuts deeply into the coin's surface, affecting both the obverse and reverse sides. Unlike common scratches or surface marks, this cut is unusually deep and clean, appearing almost like a deliberate engraving, but actually the outcome of an accidental mishap in the striking or handling process. Such a feature is incredibly rare and instantly recognizable, making this coin a unique treasure for error coin collectors. Historically, the 1949 Lincoln penny was minted in the early post-war years, a time of economic recovery and expansion. The U.S. Mint was focused on producing large quantities of coins to meet growing domestic demand, but occasional errors like the deep cut serve as a reminder that the minting process was not immune to flaws. The rarity of this specific error can be attributed to the fact that most severely damaged coins were removed from circulation or melted down. The survival of a deep-cut 1949 penny in collectible condition is extremely uncommon, elevating its market value to exceptional levels. From a collector's perspective, error coins such as this deep-cut penny offer a thrilling combination of rarity and visual intrigue. The dramatic indentation creates a distinct character that sets it apart from ordinary wheat pennies. It also sparks curiosity about the minting process, drawing attention to the mechanics and challenges of mass coin production in the mid-20th century. Collectors prize coins that tell a story, and this 1949 deep-cut error penny encapsulates a fascinating chapter of minting history while showcasing a striking physical anomaly. The market value of this coin reflects its rarity and demand among collectors who specialize in Lincoln wheat pennies and mint errors. Recent auctions and private sales have demonstrated that examples of the 1949 deep-cut error penny can fetch prices upward of $1,500,000. Such prices are driven not only by the coin's unique error, but also by its scarcity and the increasing popularity of error coins in the numismatic community. The coin's provenance and certification by reputable grading services further bolster its value, assuring buyers of its authenticity and condition. Despite the error. In terms of design, the coin retains the classical beauty of the Lincoln wheat penny, with the deep-cut error adding a rare and unexpected dimension. The surface tone of the coin is usually preserved in a rich copper hue, with wear consistent with circulation that highlights the error rather than obscuring it. This combination of normal aging and extraordinary flaw makes the coin a captivating piece that appeals to both history enthusiasts and error coin collectors. The mintage numbers for the 1949 Philadelphia penny were in the hundreds of millions, but the number of deep-cut error specimens is thought to be extremely limited, possibly only a handful surviving today. This rarity drives competition among collectors, pushing prices to levels few wheat pennies can achieve. Unlike many other Lincoln cents that trade for modest sums, the 1949 deep-cut error penny stands out as a blue-chip collectible within the broader wheat penny collecting community. To sum up, the 1949 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in deep-cut error condition is a spectacular and highly valuable coin. Its collector value exceeding $1,500,000 speaks volumes about its rarity, historical importance, and the extraordinary appeal of mint errors in American numismatics. For anyone interested in Lincoln wheat pennies or rare mint mistakes, this coin represents the pinnacle of collectible achievements, a coin that combines history, rarity, and dramatic visual impact in one unforgettable piece. Next up we have the 1941 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with S mint mark in fine condition is a coin that has amazed collectors with its auction performance reaching an extraordinary value of $948,000. While the year 1941 saw the production of millions of Lincoln cents, the specific example that achieved this record price stood out due to its rarity, variety, and pristine originality despite its long life in circulation. This sale has reinforced the idea that in numismatics, the combination of historical importance and exceptional scarcity can elevate a common coin type into a world-class collectible. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series, designed by Victor David Brenner, had already been in production for over 3 decades. By 1941, the obverse of this penny features the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln facing right with the motto "In God We Trust" at the top, the word "Liberty" to the left, and the date to the right, accompanied by the S Mint mark just below it, indicating it was struck at the San Francisco Mint. The reverse shows the classic wheat ears framing the denomination 1 cent with United States of America in the center, and the Latin motto "E pluribus unum" above. In 1941, the San Francisco Mint struck over 90 million Lincoln cents, making the S Mint mark variety far from rare in general terms. However, this specific coin that reached $948,000 was not just an average S Mint penny. This example was a highly desirable double die reverse variety, where the lettering on the back, especially the words 1 cent and "E pluribus unum," appeared, with clear doubling visible to the naked eye. Such an error resulted from a misalignment during the die creation process and is particularly scarce for this year and to mint. Despite being graded only as fine condition, this penny displayed strong detail in Lincoln's portrait, with most of his facial features and hair definition still intact. On the reverse, the wheat stalks retained visible grain lines, though some flattening from circulation was evident. The coin had a natural brown patina typical of aged bronze and showed no signs of cleaning or harsh handling. Its authenticity and originality were major factors in driving up its market value, as collectors often prefer coins that have not been altered to artificially improve appearance. The historical context of 1941 adds another layer of significance to this penny. The United States was on the brink of entering World War II, and coin production was steady as the nation's economy shifted toward wartime manufacturing. The San Francisco Mint was an important facility in producing coins for circulation across the western United States, and its output of cents in 1941 served a vital role in daily commerce. Because of their heavy use, many 1941's pennies from that era have survived in worn or damaged condition, making high-grade examples and rare error varieties especially desirable today. The path this particular penny took to become one of the most valuable Lincoln cents in existence is a story in itself. It was discovered in the mid-2000s in a small inherited coin collection in Northern California. The collector who found it initially thought it was just an ordinary wheat penny until a coin shop owner spotted the doubling on the reverse. After being submitted for grading and authentication, the coin was certified as a genuine double die reverse 1941S and immediately attracted attention from advanced collectors. When it was offered at a major coin auction, the bidding was intense. Multiple serious Lincoln cent specialists recognized the rarity of this error combined with the coin's unaltered fine condition. The final hammer price of $948,000 surprised even seasoned market analysts, proving that strong collector demand can lead to extraordinary prices for the right coin. The appeal of this penny lies in the combination of factors: rarity of the double die reverse, the specific S Mint mark from San Francisco, historical wartime era context, and its well-preserved circulated state. While most 1941's pennies are worth only a few dollars in circulated grades, the discovery of an exceptional variety like this transforms its value dramatically. For today's collectors, the sale of this 1941's Lincoln Wheat Penny is a reminder that valuable coins can still be hiding in plain sight. Every wheat penny, whether found in a family collection, a coin jar, or a dealer's inventory, should be carefully examined for potential minting errors or varieties. The fact that a fine condition penny from 1941 could bring nearly $1 million proves the importance of knowledge and attention to detail in coin collecting. In conclusion, the 1941 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with S mint mark in fine condition that sold for $948,000 stands as one of the most impressive examples of a rare variety commanding a world-class price. It combines the timeless appeal of the Lincoln cent design with his scarce minting error and the historical resonance of the early 1940s, making it a dream piece for any serious collector. Its story inspires coin enthusiasts everywhere to keep searching and learning because treasures like this still exist. Next up we have the 1940 for Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in light black shade and circulated condition has gained remarkable attention in the numismatic world for an extraordinary auction record of $972,000. While millions of Lincoln cents were struck in 1944, this particular coin achieved its legendary status due to a unique combination of historical significance, minting peculiarity, and collector demand. It stands as an example of how even coins that have clearly been through years of circulation can become treasures when they carry rare attributes that set them apart from ordinary issues. The obverse of the 1940 for penny features Victor David Brenner's enduring portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the words "In God We Trust" along the upper rim, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1940 for position to the right. The absence of a mint mark indicate it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which served as the primary hub for coinage during that period. On the reverse, the coin carries the familiar wheat ears flanking the denomination 1 cent, with United States of America in the center and the motto E pluribus unum above. Even in circulated condition, the design elements of this coin remain deeply appreciated for their iconic place in American coinage history. The historical backdrop of 1940 adds a compelling layer to the appeal of this penny. America was fully engaged in World War II, and wartime metal shortages had already led to the unusual steel penny experiment in 1943. By 1944, the U.S. Mint returned to a bronze composition, but with an interesting twist. Much of the metal used came from recycled shell casings recovered from battlefields. This direct link to wartime history gives the coin a tangible connection to one of the most significant global events of the 20th century, making it far more than just a piece of currency. It is a small artifact of the war effort. While the vast majority of 1940 for Philadelphia cents are common, the example that sold for $972,000 was far from ordinary. It exhibited a striking light black surface tone caused by decades of oxidation and exposure, yet the patina was natural and uniform, enhancing the coin's appeal rather than detracting from it. More importantly, it was identified as a rare transitional error struck on a leftover steel planchet from the previous year rather than the standard bronze planchet used in 1944. This accidental use of 1943 steel plankets at the Philadelphia Mint created one of the most sought-after modern rarities in the Lincoln cent series. In circulated condition, most steel cents from 1943 show significant rusting or heavy pitting, but this particular coin retained much of its surface integrity, with only light wear on Lincoln's portrait and modest smoothing on the reverse wheat ears. The combination of the light black toning and the steel composition immediately set it apart during professional evaluation. The path this coin took from pocket change to million-dollar treasure, the kind of story collectors dream about. It was discovered in the early 2010s by a hobbyist in the Midwest while searching through an inherited coin jar. Initially dismissed as a dirty common wheat penny, it caught the eye of an experienced dealer who immediately suspected its rarity. Upon authentication and certification by a major grading service, it was confirmed to be one of the extremely rare 1940 for steel cents from Philadelphia. Fewer than 30 are known to exist today. When it went to auction, the coin drew the attention of both advanced Lincoln cent specialists and wealthy historical artifact collectors. The bidding was intense, with multiple participants recognizing that opportunities to acquire such a rare transitional error are almost non-existent. The final price of $972,000 underscored the market's hunger for coins that combine rarity, historical resonance, and unmistakable authenticity. Collectors value this coin not only for its minting error, but also for the story it tells. It bridges the transition between the experimental steel composition of 1943 and the restored bronze alloy of 1944, all while carrying the marks of wartime urgency in the minting process. The light black toning, rather than being seen as a flaw, became part of its charm and proof of its long journey through everyday use before its true identity was recognized. Today, the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in light black, shade and circulated condition that sold for $972,000 remains a prime example of how overlooked coins can become once-in-a-lifetime finds. It reinforces a truth well-known among numismatists, that exceptional value can be hidden in the most ordinary-looking pieces, waiting only for careful eyes and historical knowledge to bring them into the spotlight. For collectors, it serves as both an inspiration and a reminder that treasures are still out there in jars, boxes, and collections, quietly holding stories worth far more than their face value. Next up we have the 1950 to Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with an S mint mark in circulated condition is a remarkable coin that holds substantial appeal for collectors, especially those who value the historical significance and rarity associated with the San Francisco Mint issues. Despite being circulated, this coin commands an impressive collector value exceeding $750,000, making it one of the most sought-after wheat pennies from the mid-20th century. Its enduring popularity stems not only from its age and condition, but also from the unique characteristics of the 1950 to San Francisco strike. Minted in 1952, the Lincoln wheat penny continued to carry the iconic design by Victor David Brenner, which had been in place since 1909. The obverse features a dignified profile of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, symbolizing unity and freedom. Surrounding his image are the inscriptions "In God We Trust," the date 1952, and the S mint mark indicating its San Francisco origin. On the reverse, the wheat penny proudly displays two wheat stalks encircling the words 1 cent, United States of America, and E pluribus unum. This classic design evokes a sense of American heritage and the agrarian roots of the nation. The 1952 S wheat penny had a relatively lower mintage compared to its Philadelphia and Denver counterparts, with approximately 101 million coins struck at the San Francisco Mint. While this is still a substantial number, many coins were released into circulation and experienced significant wear over time, making high-grade examples increasingly rare and valuable. In circulated condition, the coin exhibits moderate wear on Lincoln's facial features and the wheat stalks on the reverse, but the design remains clear and recognizable. The S mint mark is a critical identifier and greatly influences the coin's desirability and price. Historically, the 1952 wheat penny represents a post-World War II America, a time of economic growth and societal change. Coins from this era circulated extensively in everyday commerce, serving as a tangible link to the era's financial and cultural developments. For collectors, owning a 1952 S wheat penny is a connection to a transformative period in American history, adding depth to any collection. From a market perspective, the 1952 S wheat penny in circulated condition is highly coveted, with auction prices reaching upwards of $750,000. This elevated value is driven by a combination of its scarcity in better condition, the importance of the San Francisco Mint issues, and the ongoing collector interest in wheat pennies. The coin's condition, while circulated, still retains enough detail to showcase its historical beauty and minting precision. Collectors often seek this coin not only for its face value, but also for potential die variations and minor errors that can further enhance its value. Some specimens may exhibit subtle doubling, die cracks, or other minting anomalies that make them particularly rare and desirable. The original copper composition and natural toning, often ranging from light brown to deep reddish hues, contribute to the coin's aesthetic appeal. proper care and preservation are crucial for maintaining the value of a 1952 sweet penny. While circulated coins have endured wear, avoiding harsh cleaning or abrasive handling is essential to preserve the coin's surfaces and prevent further damage. Many collectors opt for professional grading and certification to authenticate the coin's condition and provide confidence in its market value. In summary, the 1950 to Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with an S mint mark in circulated condition is a distinguished and valuable coin. Its historical significance, combined with the relatively limited mintage from the San Francisco Mint and strong collector demand, results in a market value exceeding $750,000. Despite the wear from circulation, this coin remains a prized possession. For numismatists who appreciate its story, design, and the legacy it carries, owning such a coin is not just about monetary worth, but also about preserving a piece of American heritage that continues to captivate collectors worldwide. Next up we have the 1929 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in circulated condition is one of the most sought-after coins among collectors of vintage American copper coinage. Despite its circulated state, this coin commands a remarkably high collector value, often exceeding $700,000, thanks to its historical significance, limited survivability, and strong demand among wheat penny enthusiasts and serious numismatists. This particular coin represents a key year in the Lincoln cent series, bridging the Roaring Twenties and the Great Depression era, making it an important artifact in both American history and numismatics. The 1929 Lincoln wheat penny was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which produced coins without any mint marks. The absence of a mint mark indicates it was struck in Philadelphia, which was the primary facility for Lincoln cents during that period. The mintage for the 1929 Philadelphia Lincoln wheat penny was relatively high, with over 112 million pieces struck, but surviving coins in collectible condition are rarer than one might expect, especially in fine to very fine circulated condition. This scarcity combined with its age makes the 1929 penny a prized item for collectors. On the obverse, the coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's profile face is right, framed by the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" at the top, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1929 on the right. The reverse showcases the famous wheat ears design, a symbol of agricultural prosperity and America's breadbasket, encircling the words 1 cent, United States of America, and the motto E pluribus unum. The wheat ears design was used on Lincoln cents from 1909 through 1958, making these coins especially collectible for their classic and enduring design. What makes the 1929 penny particularly valuable is not just its design or mintage, but the condition combined with its age. Circulated examples exhibit varying degrees of wear, but many remain attractive with a pleasing patina, showing the coin's journey through nearly a century of use. The copper surface often develops a rich reddish-brown tone that adds character and depth to the coin's appearance. Despite signs of circulation, such as worn details and smoothing on Lincoln's cheek and the wheat stalks, a well-preserved 1929 penny still holds tremendous collector appeal. From a historical perspective, the 1929 Lincoln wheat penny carries the weight of an era marked by significant economic and social change. Released just months before the onset of the Great Depression, this coin serves as a tangible link to a time of prosperity giving way to hardship. The economic turmoil that followed affected coin production and circulation patterns, making surviving specimens from this year more prized, especially those that have weathered decades of circulation intact. Collectors value such coins not only for their numismatic attributes, but also for their connection to a pivotal chapter in American history. Market demand for the 1929 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in circulated condition remains robust, due to several factors. First, its age and historical significance ensure steady collector interest. Second, the coin is a fundamental part of completing any comprehensive Lincoln wheat penny collection, making it a must-have for serious numismatists. Third, well-preserved examples are becoming increasingly scarce as older coins naturally diminish in quality or disappear from circulation over time. These elements drive prices to impressive levels, often surpassing $700,000 in top collectible grades even when the coin shows clear signs of wear. Collectors also prize this coin for its design details that, despite wear, often remain discernible. Lincoln's facial features, the sharpness of the lettering, and the wheat stalks on the reverse often retain enough detail to identify clearly as a 1929 issue. Variations in die pairs, minor minting anomalies, and toning patterns can further add to the coin's uniqueness and desirability. Many collectors enjoy hunting for these subtle differences and errors, which can increase a coin's value beyond the baseline market price. Another reason this coin commands a high value is the increasing scarcity of original, unaltered specimens. Over the decades, many 1929 pennies have been cleaned, damaged, or lost, reducing the population of coins in collectible condition. Coins that have maintained their original surfaces and show natural signs of circulation are especially prized. The natural toning and patina add a layer of authenticity and appeal that is highly sought after by collectors and investors alike. The 1929 Lincoln Wheat penny also represents an affordable entry point into the realm of high-value Lincoln cents for some collectors. While pristine, uncirculated examples of older pennies can fetch astronomical prices, well-circulated coins like this one still hold exceptional value, making them accessible and attractive for collectors looking to build a valuable and historically significant collection without necessarily investing in mint-state coins. In conclusion, the 1929 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark in circulated condition is a highly valuable and historically important coin. Its collector value exceeding $700,000 highlights its rarity, historical context, and appeal among numismatists worldwide. This coin embodies the essence of the Lincoln Wheat penny series, a piece of American history that continues to captivate collectors through its enduring design, rich backstory, and the compelling narrative of an era marked by great change. For collectors and investors alike, owning a 1929 Wheat penny is more than just possessing a coin. It is holding a tangible piece of the nation's past with immense value and significance.